Donald Trump was one of several of those types of guys that we thought about and modeled Biff after, yes.
In part 2 of my chinwag with Bob Gale, the Back to the Future creator explained why he modelled bully Biff on Donald Trump, as well as discussing the 2015 predictions he got right and wrong.
That was a total surprise.
And he gave me his thoughts on some of those crazy fan theories.
If you give people enough information, they can put it together in all kinds of different ways and believe anything they want.
Now, time has proven that Back to the Future 2 got quite a lot right about 2015. There's biometrics for identity checks, recreational drones, high-tech eyewear, Google Glass, Skype-like video conferencing. Pepsi's still in business. Who knew? There's just a few. Did you think that any of these or others that I've not listed really would become a reality?
There were a few that we knew. One that we were absolutely certain about was that in this decade, people would be very nostalgic about the 80s, because in the 80s, people were very nostalgic about the 50s. So every 30 years, you're nostalgic about the world 30 years prior. So that was a kind of an easy prediction. We'd done research on a lot of things. So the flat screen televisions and the video conferencing, that was stuff that we knew was in the works. So that was not a surprise that we had that. The drones, that was a total surprise. The fact that we predicted that blew us away, that we got that right. We knew that there weren't really going to be flying cars. We didn't expect that there would be hoverboards. But what's really cool is that people are trying to invent hoverboards because they saw it in Back to the Future Part 2. And there's a company up in Silicon Valley who actually did invent a working hoverboard.
Yeah, there are prototypes out there, aren't there? But they're not there for commercial use. Yet, and people are very disappointed about that, Bob, you know.
I know.
They take it very seriously.
I know.
Have you been sued?
Sure. Every day.
Yeah, just a daily occurrence in the life of Bob Gale. Got sued, mate. Do you get, like, commission or royalties from, say, Google Glass or free Skype credit or anything for your input in these inventions?
Oh, yeah.
What one item from present-day life do you wish you had come up with?
The smartphone.
Smartphone.
That's the killer invention of the 21st century that we did not see coming.
But you had elements of it, though, because there was mobile transactions, wasn't there, in Back to the
Yes,
Future?
there's some transactions, so some of that was right. But the idea that you would have this little tiny thing that has more computing power than any spaceship in the Apollo space program, that was really... It never occurred to us.
Now, there are a few pretty strange, you're probably aware of this, Back to the Future fan theories out there online. Have you heard of any of these? So some fans believe that Back to the Future predicted the 9/11 attacks. Any truth to that, Bob?
Of course. We predicted everything. We predicted the assassination of John F. Kennedy years after.
That's another one. That's another one that's here.
Yeah, we predicted Elvis's death and his resurrection, which hasn't happened yet, but it will. Now, I'm familiar with a lot of these crazy theories, and it's proof that if you give people enough information, they can put it together in all kinds of different ways and believe anything they want.
So just to confirm, it's not true?
No.
This one as well, I like this one. The Back to the Future trilogy is a metaphor for sexual reproduction. Now, I shall use my words carefully and perhaps also more formally than normal, but some fans have noted that the flux capacitor, I can't even say that word.
Flux capacitor.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you very much for helping me. Looks like a pair of ovaries and fallopian tubes connected to a uterus, and the machine requires a man to enter it to begin the process. Any truth, Bob?
Duh. No, I don't know. My goodness. You can look at it that way, sure. You can also look at the flux capacitor as a version of that human illustration by Leonardo, where the man is standing there with his arms kind of outspread. So if you want to believe that, be my guest.
Thank you. I'll carry on then. One that you have confirmed is that bad guy Biff was modelled to a certain extent, on Donald Trump.
That's correct. In part 2, when Biff owns a casino and needs to put his name and his picture on everything, one of the inspirations for that was Mr. Trump. Some people wrongly believe that we predicted that Trump would be president. That we could have never thought of that. But yeah, in terms of a wealthy gambling magnate, sure. Donald Trump was one of several of those types of guys that we thought about and modeled Biff after, yes.
If you haven't seen part 1 of my chat with Bob, then I have good news. You can travel back in time and watch it by clicking on the link in the description. Bob talks about his struggle getting Back to the Future made and why there'll never be another one made whilst he's alive. Don't forget to cyber-like this video and consider subscribing to the channel and ringing my bell if you haven't already.